All right. So we are back with another community meeting for the LitmusChaos community, and today we will be discussing about bunch of different things. We'll be discussing about the recent release that we made. We'll be discussing about the new adapter that we onboarded, the new public adapter. We will also be discussing about we'll be having a presentation from the Coding Mentorship team who's contributing to Litmus Chaos since a long time now. They'll be having a presentation and we'll be ending with some open questions, and we'll be also discussing about some of the open issues which are there in Litmus Chaos and how can you contribute to Litmus Chaos at the end of the day. So let's start. Let's start with quick round of introductions. We have um Deong is some, I'm not sure how to pronounce her name. I'm so sorry for that. I believe Deong is the correct way to pronounce. Yes.
Oh, yes.
Okay, so we'll be starting with introduction. In introduction, we usually talk about um where are we from? What is the name? Where are we from? And what is the purpose of joining? And what you're expecting from today's community meeting. So I think since you are the only person who's joined today's meeting, let's start with your introduction.
Oh, yes, I'm Bayon Jong, and I'm a member of the LitmusChaos Korea mentorship team. And uh, today I today I will presentation about my LitmusChaos Korea mentorship, and I expected about Litmus communities progress and our roadmap. This is my expectation of this community meeting.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing your introduction and everything which was mentioned. So yeah, let's begin today's meeting, and we'll wrap up in next half an hour or something. Okay. So as I mentioned, we'll start with some community updates discussion. And community updates, we have a few things to cover. We'll talk about our release, new adapter, and then we'll be having a presentation, and then we'll talk about some open issues. Um, so let's talk about the release first. So this was the release which was made today itself, where we primarily had fixes related which primarily focused on stability, reliability, security, and code quality of Litmus Chaos. We had some fixes related to probes. If you see, there's a probe fix. Then we had fixes related to file handling as well. Some GraphQL fixes, some authentication fixes. Right, we had some documentation also, which was added. We had a lot of fuzz test, which was again majorly contributed by the Korean community to our document our project, and we also had some infra side fixes as well. So primarily, if I tell you the high level summary of what this release was focused on, so it was more of a maintenance and code quality focused release. Delivering stronger reliability and enhanced security. There are some security fixes as well which were made. So yeah, these were the things which were there in the release. If you see anything interesting, feel free to upgrade, and if you see any issues that you're facing with the new release, feel free to create a new issue, and anyone from the community can pick it up to get that fixed. So this was the update for the release. Coming to new adopter, uh, so Motorola joined us as our public adopter recently, and if you wanna see how they are using it, or if you wanna see all the other Litmus Chaos, sorry, all the other Litmus Chaos adoption stories, you can go to our website litmuschaos.io, and then you can directly, okay, I got someone to join. Then you can directly go to add your organization, and if you scroll to bottom, the recent one which was uh merged 2 weeks back was Motorola Solutions. They have mentioned all the ways with they have been using LitmusChaos, and we are super grateful for joining us as a public adopter. Before this, Canonical joined us as a public adopter, and now Motorola Solutions, and that shows how well the project is progressing, and hope to see it graduate very soon with this much of input of public adopters showing up. Okay. Yeah. All right. Now next up we have if I go back to the presentation. Okay, I think now Deong, you can go ahead and start your presentation. Give some summary initially what it is about, and what mentorship was about and how it went, and then you can start with the presentation. I'll stop sharing my screen and you can start sharing your screen. Over to you.
Okay. Yes. Okay. I I showed my screen. Hello everyone. I'm Diane Jung, a member of the 2026 LitmusChaos Korea mentorship team. This LitmusChaos Korea mentorship is an open source contribution program that was first held in South Korea in 2024 and is being organized again in 2026. Today, I'm excited to present our journey under the title Beyond the First Step, Growing into Core Contributors. Through this presentation, I'd like to share how we progressed from taking our first steps in the open source ecosystem to becoming active contributors and engaged members of the LitmusChaos community. Let me briefly introduce our team. The 2026 LitmusChaos Korea mentorship consists of 25 members. I'm Daeun Jung, the lead of mentor and today's presenter. And Suyam Lim is our co-mentor. I first joined the program as a mentee in 2024 and returned this year as a mentor. Today, four mentors Hyuntae Park, Hyosung Shin, Yoon So Han, and Jaehyun Lee will share their contribution experience with us. Now I would like to share our step-by-step strategy for growing together in open source. Our growth path consists of three key phases. First is get started. During this phase, we focused on becoming familiar with the code base by fixing core documentation, learning how to communicate it effectively within the community, and resolving minor typos. Second is take action. Here, we moved on the deeper technical challenges. We practiced tracing complex bugs, writing robust test code, and building clean professional pull requests. Finally, we reached the core phase. Our ultimate goal was not just to make a one-time contribution, but to become sustainable long-term contributors by providing LitmusChaos guide lectures and consistently engaging with the project. We have secured a clear pathway to grow into confident and recognized global maintainers. Now I Now I show the mentees review record. Sorry, I check the video sound.
Hello, this is Hunter Park. I started a contribution with fixing documentations. It let me become the first participant in this year's Litmus Chaos Korea mentorship to have a PR merged. Then I found a routing bug, which made the project setup page be exposed to non-owners. While tracing the root cause, I discovered that our RBAC validator was a dead code, which were not able to block unauthorized requests. Both fixes have now been merged. What mattered most was communication. I reported the issue with clear reproduction steps, splitting the front-end and back-end fixes into two different scopes and inviting maintainers to review my analysis. My takeaway is simple. A clear reporting on issue and well-organized PRs are as much crucial as fixing bugs itself.
Hello, I'm Jayon Lee, and I'm a computer engineering student in Korea. On this slide, I will briefly introduce my first open source contribution to LitmusChaos. My contribution started with a documentation cleanup PR, where I fixed typos and duplicate words. After that, I reported missing test coverage in GraphQL data marshalling, and I submit a PR adding go first test for edge cases. Since this was my first open source contribution, the biggest challenge was breaking the initial barrier. I learned how to read an unfamiliar code base, open an issue, submit a pull request, and respond to feedback. This experience taught me that open source contribution can start from small improvements, and those small contributions can still improve project quality.
Hello, my name is Yun Seo Han, and now I would like to share my journey on LitmusChaos and how it eventually led to some meaningful code contributions. Reading a large code base like Litmus can somewhat be very challenging at the early stage. Therefore, I started with Korea Mentorship, where mentors walked us through the basic concepts of chaos engineering and how Litmus actually operated. Together with our peer group, we conducted some small toy projects and discussed any technical difficulties during the learning process. That foundation gave me the confidence to actually deep dive into the real code base. From there, I identified 3 concrete contribution points and opened pull requests for each: fixing a probe uniqueness validation gap, correcting a goal routine concurrency issue in the health check logic, and adding fuzz test coverage for Kubernetes labels. 2 have already been merged, and the third is under active discussions with the maintainers to strengthen code quality. So that's the journey, and I'm excited to keep on building on it.
Hi, I'm Hyosung. I'd like to introduce a feature I contributed to the Litmus Java SDK. The LitmusChaos Java SDK was developed in 2024 through the 2026 LitmusChaos Korea Mentorship. I progressed from learning and testing the SDK to contributing a new feature. My contribution began with issue 58. At the time, the SDK could return an experiment on only once. So you just has to implement following timeout handling and final status checks dumbbell views. In for request 61, I edit wait for experiment run. This method first experiment run until it reaches a final state and then returns the result. I saw edit time handling, use text, and a live integration test. I verified the feature on a Kubernetes cluster built with WordPress. I deployed LitmusChaos, ran a real chaos experiment, and converted that SDK correctly directed is success completion. This Vantage connected the SDK foundation from 2024 with a new contribution in 2026. It assured me how new contributors can help sustain the LitmusChaos ecosystems.
Yes, it is our mentees to review. Now, to wrap up our team's activities, let's take a look at our final outcomes. Through the 2026 LitmusChaos Korea Mentorship, our team identified 21 issues and had 27 pull requests merged into the project. We aim to go beyond simply reporting problems by contributing actual implementations and solutions. Our contributions covered various areas, including testing, documentation, bug fix, and new features. We improved project stability through further testing and unit testing, updated missing or outdated documentation, and resolved bugs that could affect real-world operations. Most importantly, every mentee completed at least one contribution and gained practical experience collaborating with the open source community. Together, these efforts helped strengthen both our team and the LitmusChaos ecosystem. Although this year's LitmusChaos Korea mentorship concludes here, our open source community journey will continue. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you so much, Taeyong, and the entire team for your contribution to our project. And I do appreciate all the efforts that the entire team has put to put this entire video together. And thanks to you as well, Taeyong, for waking up till 1:30 a.m. Present this presentation over here. We'll run the meeting for next 10 more minutes, and then we'll wrap up the meeting. Okay. I'll go back sharing my screen, and we will quickly talk about some of the open issues that you can take part in. Okay. All right. Okay, let's keep it here. So the first thing, if you want to contribute, and if you do not have any idea what issues you should pick, you can go to labels, go to good first, and then you can go to author, not author. You can go to assignees, no assignees. There is only one issue, but you can then remove this assignee, and you can see these are the good first issues. Some are having the PR, some do not have any PRs. You can check that how old the issue is and if anyone is actively working on it or not. Okay. Then once you are like not, if you're not able to find any good first issues, you can of course go to the types. You can go to the other labels, like these are all the labels. You can go through it. You can choose the area you want to contribute to. You can go to, community charts, chaos hub, chaos center, workflows, right? These are all the areas and labels which are there that will help you to detect what all areas you can contribute to. Also, you feel free to go through each of them and then understand what are the open issues that I've seen that a lot of issues recently that we have merged, which are in the PRs, and the people who are working on it are no longer active. We will soon close their PRs and make those issues open again. If you want to do that early before we do it, feel free to go through the PRs itself. And if you see there is no activity on that, um, feel free to comment on any of the GitHub issues and we will assign the issue to you. Okay. Um, Now, yep, this was about open issues, and I'll just quickly help you to understand. Let's say if you are extremely new to LitmusChaos, how you can understand how can get started with contribution. And this is common for the uh, uh, all the open source projects. The first thing you should go through is the contributing guide. Okay, you should you know go through this entire documentation in detail. This includes everything: how you can get started, how you can report your issues, how you can set up your local development setup, how you should sign a DCO before you raise a PR, and then how you should raise a PR, right? These are the PR checklists that you need to take care of. And then these are all the highlighted repositories that you can contribute to based on whatever your interest is. But before that, you need to understand what Litmus does, how you can use it, right? And you can always be part of our monthly meetings. We do at least try to do two contributor meetings a month. As mentioned, second and last Thursday and third Wednesday, which is the day of every month. If you want to learn what Litmus is at the first place, please go through the documentation. If you go to get started, start reading from the start. It will help you to understand what Litmus is. Start even you should go through this architecture summary. It gives you a high level understanding of how it works, what's the control plane, what's the execution plane, right? What are the different environments we support and we target. Your control plane needs to be in your Kubernetes. It's a Kubernetes native tool at the first place, right? So go through these things. Here also you have this Chaos Center development guide, which is again a setup that you can follow to set your Litmus Chaos locally. So these are all the things that you need to set. It's pretty straightforward, nothing difficult in this. But if you still face any difficulty, this is the Slack icon that you click and it will take you to the Kubernetes Slack. So this is the Kubernetes Slack that you can join, where I share all the updates and all the contributors share and the users of Litmus share. If they're facing any issue, you can also, and if you are a contributor, you want to raise PR and it's not getting attention on GitHub, feel free to share it over here so that we understand that someone has raised the PR, we need to review it. Okay. So yeah, these are the things. If you are interested to learn more, I'll again highly recommend to go through our YouTube as well. We are having good set of YouTube tutorials as well. Having said that, we recently released this podcast of with Canonical. Canonical is the company behind Ubuntu. We released a podcast that discusses about how um, Canonical has integrated Litmus Chaos in their observability suite, and all the different discussions about resilience testing and everything else. So, highly recommended podcast that you should go through. If you want to learn Litmus, then we have this getting started with Litmus playlist. Feel free to go through the playlist. It includes everything that you need to know to run your first chaos experiment. Okay. So yeah, these are the things that you can do if you are extremely new to Litmus Chaos, and it will help you understand and learn more about it. Okay. If you are interested in contributing, first thing, of course, you can do the code contribution. You can also contribute to the community by joining the Slack discussion or starting new Slack discussions you want input of a community on that. You can reply to the answers that to the people who are facing the issues. Um, Feel free to create blogs, create content around Litmus Chaos, and share it in the Slack channel. Then, so that we know that you have created, and we will help you out amplifying those content on our socials as well. Of course, if you are facing any issues while using the tool, or if you are seeing any bug that you think can fix and improve the project, feel free to raise an issue and start contributing to it, or share that issue inside of the Slack channel so that anyone else who's a contributor interested in fixing or contributing to Litmus Chaos can directly pick up the issue and get started with the contribution. Okay. So yeah, this is it for today's community meeting. If you have any questions, queries, or thoughts that you want to share, we are having an open discussion ground. Feel free to unmute and share your thoughts. I'll keep it for more 10 to 20 seconds. If you feel like you are having any thought that you want to share, you can do it. Cool. I think we do not have any questions, but before we wrap up today's session, I want both of the people, participants who joined the meeting, can you guys please share your email IDs in the chat so that I can um, add it to the meeting notes. So these are the public meeting notes that we have. Anyone can get access to this. I will quickly update this now. Okay. So once you guys add your, I think we don't need your emails, my bad. I'll just add your names over here. Uh, I'll just copy this. Okay, I'll copy this. And then paste it here. Community meeting 63. Date is what? 15th. 15th July. Release 1. New adopted announce. Continue. And also we had a presentation by Yan Chung. Yeah, and I will just write your names on Deon Chung and Shah. Okay. Shah. Okay, I believe I written the correct names. All right. I think we are done. These are the meeting notes that we had, and with that, we will wrap up today's meeting. Thank you so much, both of you, for joining today's call. This is recorded and it will go out on our YouTube channel soon. So thank you so much for joining and have a lovely night or lovely morning ahead. Thank you so much.